Hello to everybody and very welcome this evening to Mount Stewart. My name is Mick and I'm one of the garden team here. Some people know me and most people don't. We're going to have a hopefully bit of an interesting night, fun night. I don't know if there's any Oscars handed out at the end of it, hopefully there will. It's going to be of that standard. There's a few... oh! A sneak preview there. So I'm going to be your guide tonight and we'll see what happens, which characters we meet along the way and in what context we'll meet them. We're going to head up around the lake and then come back around ourselves through the formal gardens before, in case if you're wondering, having refreshments in the restaurant. It's just tea and coffee, sandwiches and maybe the odd sweet thing. So without further ado, we'll carry on. Right, sorry about that.
What are you doing? We're going on the plants. Plants? What do you know about plants? Plants? I know about plants. Well, you've heard of David Douglas? You heard of David Douglas?
No.
Ah, David Douglas. Good friend of mine, David Douglas was. Well, David, he sailed the world looking for new species of plants to bring them back to this native land. Ned Gurney's the name, and I'm a little bit of a plant hunter myself. You see, I've been to Botany Bay. Yeah, at the pleasure of His Majesty the King, no less. Now, poor old David, I said old David came to a sticky end. I would know nothing about that. But let me tell you, see, when you get around here tonight, you listen and keep a weather eye, and you might hear what happened to old David Douglas and the rest of his fellow plant hunters. Now Len's got to be off because there'll be people who'll be looking for me tonight. All right. Right, you've got a oyster.
Sorry about that. Right.
We weren't supposed to jump behind us.
We're way around. I'd like to introduce you to two amateur botanists, Charles Dumont and William Derouch. And William is the brother, apparently, of Danny Derouch.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Good evening.
Charles Dumont at your service. Welcome to Mount Stewart. Here at Mount Stewart you'll see many wonderful plants, examples of which came from all parts of the world. Forgive me for a moment there if we were distracted, looking at this wonderful specimen of a redwood tree.
Yes, marvellous.
Have you looked at the beauty of these fine gardens and admired the beauty of nature all about you? William?
Yes, yes. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is William Derouch. If you look around you at all these beautiful plants, you may not realize that many of them are not native to these shores. No, it took men such as Sir Joseph Banks to circumnavigate the globe in search of very rare species.
Indeed.
Yes, Sir Joseph was to undertake a journey, one taken by many men of power and money, but this was not open to any blockhead. Yes, he managed to get himself a position aboard the HMS Niger as naturalist. Now you see, the Admiralty and the Royal Society had wanted to send a ship to the South Seas to track the transit of Venus. I said Venus, madam. Yes, this was a very important astronomical event that could help improve navigational techniques.
Indeed.
Yes, you were correct. So, with this in mind, in fact, you know, the captain of this ship, this was Captain Cook, he who discovered Australia. Yes, and in fact, it was on this journey that Sir Joseph, he discovered a place rich with exotic plant life, and he named the place Botany Bay.
Indeed, Botany Bay.
Now you may know this is the place where the convicts landed. In fact, that just reminds me of something I should tell you. The Admiralty at the moment, they're having some trouble. Yes, they've managed to misplace one of their ships.
Typical Admiralty.
Yes, the HMS Bounty. The Bounty was on search of a taste of paradise. It was off looking for breadfruit to help to feed the West Indies slave population. But I have to tell you, I've heard that there was a mutiny on board. Yes, a mutiny. And the crew, underneath someone called Christian Fletcher, yes, they have disappeared with the ship. This is true.
Well, really it is thanks to Joseph Banks that we are here today doing what we are doing. Joseph Banks, you will know, is one of the founder members of Kew Gardens, and he also managed to convince the king to depart with some money to finance expeditions going to all corners of the world in search of rare and exotic plants, many of which you will see here in the gardens of Mount Stewart, but not only here, the wealthy in England and Scotland and Southern Ireland also purchased into this. And these beautiful plants now decorate the garden. Anyway, William, you and I have got to be about our business.
Yes, we need to be going now.
Indeed we do, sir. Where are we? Just remind me, where are we going?
We're going to Fairhill, big shopping centre in Ballymena.
This lake is actually hand-dug.
Before JCB.
By many poor men in the early 1800s. And today we have, you see, the family of cygnets.
Oh, look at the wee duck. Look at the wee duckling there.
And one little ugly duckling. So you can sit and enjoy those.
I love the tales she tells. And so would you if you'd only admit it.
My dad says the only book that we should be reading is the Bible.
Oh, go on, Mary, tell us a tale.
Are you really sure?
Yes, go on.
Okay. Well, this book is about a Scottish man called Robert Fortune, born in 1812. Oh, little is known about his early life, but he sure did have an adventurous adult life, going to places such as Japan and China, Asia. He sometimes even went in disguise to go to places that were forbidden in countries that were like weary of foreigners.
Oh, isn't that man you were telling me about the other night? Oh, he was so courageous standing up to those pirates. Oh, it's as well as a good shot.
Yes, that's the very man, Peggy. But it wasn't just pirates he had to face, but ferocious storms, robbers, and deplorable living conditions.
My dad was right. No good Christian girl should be hearing these things. For I'll not be sleeping in my bed tonight for the thought of it all, and you're just making it up.
I am not. It is true. And you don't have to look around you in this beautiful garden to see the proof that will outlive you and me. For Robert risked his life to bring back plants and shrubs like rhododendrons and chrysanthemums and yellow flowering yasmins and bamboo. Plants that'll bring pleasure to future generations.
Oh, thank you, Mary. I don't think I'll ever forget Mr. Fortune.
No, but we will lose our possessions in the big house if we don't get back there very soon.
All right, she's right. Come on.
Okay, we'll continue on towards the ladies' walk and see if you possibility you might meet some nice ladies and gentlemen. We're all together and you're now standing on the ladies' walk, so if we're very lucky, as I said, you might catch some ladies. Lady Emily and Lady Elizabeth might be up taking the air, so if we're all together, we'll go up and see if we can have a chat. They seem to be getting on quite well.
Enjoying the walk? Lady Elizabeth and I were just out for a stroll in this beautiful garden, just catching the evening air. This is the ladies' walk, you know. No, Emily. This is a ladies' walk. Yes, as Emily was saying, we were just out and were enjoying the evening air. We're about a mile from the house here. And this is where the ladies come in the hot summer evenings. Their delicate skin protected by this wonderful Oregon Douglas fir tree. Or Siga Menzelisi, as the botanists would try to say. Yes, it was named after Archibald Menzies, Elizabeth, an intrepid plant hunter. And it was discovered by David Douglas, I believe. That's right. David Douglas, a great adventurer. Used to fight off bears, you know. Crossed over rivers and mountains all through America just to get to California.
Well, he used to look for the plants everywhere, and he used to bring back different seeds for her ladyship. Lady Edith co-sponsored a gentleman by the name of Frank Kingdom Ward, and on one of his many travels, he brought the seed back, and she was probably among the first ladies in the world to receive such a plant. Do you like the red rhododendron? Isn't it gorgeous? This is the kind of plant seed he got.
Oh, let me tell you the story of Frank Kingdom Ward. Come a little closer to here. Yes. Now, he was an intrepid plant hunter with a career spanning over 45 years.
Yes, it was.
You know, his travels took him through Burma and Tibet. You know, he loved nature, but he hated snakes. Isn't that right? Mm-hmm. He would have loved Ireland.
Yes, no snakes.
Now, in 1907, his travels took him to China as he took up a post in the Shanghai public school there. Now, as a novice plant hunter, it was introduced to rainforests for the first time. Now, it was kind of a baptism of fire for young Mr. Ward. Because foreigners in China at this time were a very rare sight. About as rare as seeing Emily here doing any work.
Speak for yourself, that's for commoners anyway.
Everywhere Mr. Ward went, he was followed by a crowd of people. Yes. Now, I remember one time that his tent was actually robbed of his most prized possession. It wasn't silver or gold, but it was his tea thermos.
Oh, a man without tea is nothing more than a Briton.
Well, Mr. Ward hired 2 young Chinese fellows to act as guides, and they took him off into the forest. But, you know, he was so distracted by the wonderful plants that he wandered further and further off into the forest and got himself completely lost.
Yes, lost. Well, all he had was 1 cartridge left in his gun. I think it was to scare the wolves. Well, whenever he was sitting, he had to sleep outdoors, and he got soaked to the skin in the sudden downpour. He awoke, obviously, and he had nothing to eat. So he decided to eat the rhododendron plant, of all things. He got awful stomachache, made him very sick.
I'm surprised it didn't kill him. They're highly poisonous, you know.
So they are, that's exactly right, Elizabeth. So, after all that, he got a bit delirious, and he came across this little finch. Well, he decided to shoot the little thing, shot the feathers clean off the little blighter, leaving only the beak and the inners, and ate the rest. Delicious. So after all that, he wandered off and looked into this lady's garden, knocked the door. Well, she thought the King of England had arrived. Stupid woman! Unbelievable. So after the cuts and the bruises and a bout of malaria, he decided to take himself off even deeper into the forest just to look for all these beautiful plants. Well, I just think that you should just enjoy the gardens, ladies and gentlemen, because me and Elizabeth here certainly will.
Have a lovely evening.
Cheerio now.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Elizabeth, don't me.
Oh my God.
A bit of sport. I think they're going to fight a duel here, a duel. Over the love of a lady, I bet. Is there any wonder I kept my fidelity all these years? But you don't want to miss a bit of sport.
Oh dear, I hope it's nobody succumbed to his charms.
Gentlemen, I asked you for the final time that the insult to Alexander Hamilton in regard to his character. be settled more peaceably, and that the accusation made from yourself be retracted from the seeds that Mr. Alexander Hamilton brought back from his latest plant hunting expedition in the continent of South America were in fact seeds from a locally grown plant.
I will not retract one word what I said about Mr. Hamilton. He is a liar, a cheat, and a swindler. Yes, a cheat and a swindler, I call him. He went to London. My family gave him 2,000 guineas to ensure that the expedition to Chile would be a success. Mr. Hamilton went to London, where he met Mr. Archibald Lindsay, who brought the seeds back from Chile. These same seeds were used as a dessert at the table of the Spanish Viceroy of Chile. And for me not to receive those seeds, or my fair share of them, is a disgrace, and I expect satisfaction from Mr. Hamilton.
I am neither a cheat nor a swindler. I gave you your seeds, Mr. Burt, in all good faith and honesty.